We're doing the first time here, so we don't know which one is better for us.
So you need a one-day pass for all the lodging and the tram. Anything that you see down there are private tours that you can add on. So you're more than welcome to do so. Like wide is open and closers. You can always start with a one-day pass and then add things inside.
Okay. They got a tram to take us. Okay. For bus. Yeah, for bus. I'm not for bus. I'm sorry. Chipotle meeting no.
You have a student discount?
Yeah.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Three. And
Oh,
also.
three actually.
See in Calsec Long Beach too, so three of them.
Yeah.
Only me no discount. Okay. Cheap, right?
You'll get all the walking and the tram included.
What about the restaurant or food?
There's lots of restaurants.
Oh, okay.
There's some information on the restaurant.
Okay, thank you.
Có mua cái trail luôn không? Trail.
Yeah, the tram
Oh,
is
you
free.
have to add that on.
Oh, so we go inside. If we add on something, you say let inside.
All walking, and then the tram is free. They'll take you around where the big animals are roaming around free.
Okay.
So you just take the
Yeah,
razor.
yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good day.
You're welcome.
Cái đó con gì?
It says over there. Walking past the area. Oh, now look at the
Cho
parrot.
nó vác.
Is it tall? Maybe. Yeah, that's when it. That's how big it is when it grows bigger.
Bớt càng dài. Ôi dồi ôi. Ủa nó bay ra được không?
Don't think so. Maybe it just sits there, or if it's trained to sit there. Then we don't know if I want a bird anymore if they're that big.
Stop đi rồi record lại.
Con này nó qua nó ở trong đó nó không chịu bay ra ngoài không?
It looks like a what is that? Pelican? The birds with the beak, but they're a lot bigger. Yeah. Oh, it's right up there. Yeah.
Giống con kênh kê nó anh vậy.
Nhưng mà mấy con chim này chim hiền, nó không có tấn công mình.
Oh, there's a bird up there and there's a smaller
Cái
bird.
đây cái đó là giống như con quạ đây. Giống như con quạ.
Oh, look, there's like a duck. I see the ducks. You don't think those are ducks?
Đẹp quá ha.
Yeah.
Đúng không?
Lấy được mình chặt đó. Mấy con trong này nó thuộc loại thuyền.
Nó chỉ được
Yeah. Well, no, there's a big cage around the whole thing. There's a big cage around the whole thing.
À,
Con hạt á.
ừ.
Đẹp quá ha.
Giống như cái sòng trên Galactica nó lấy tên là Flamingo á.
Look at ducks too.
Không phải rửa đâu, phải rửa cho nó sạch sẽ cho mấy con này nó cực. Không nó dơ quá nó chết. Ok, có đứng đây chụp hình nè. We go down the hill.
Where's the elephant? Oh, is it this way?
They say do not enter this way.
This is Service Road, I think.
Only one way.
Yeah.
Turn left,
No, turn right.
turn right.
Or make a turn left and look at the elephant. Yeah.
They got a what they call telescope.
Telescope. Binoculars. Where's the elephant?
Welcome to the hut.
Where are they?
Yeah, we really were just, we like to stop here.
Over there. Oh. It was supposed to be in this pen then. I don't know.
You have any? Far away over there.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
it may be too hot for them, so they hiding over.
Just to let you know, we don't have any lions.
Over on the right-hand side, this is our flamboyant of greater flamingo, and they might have lighter colored feathers than you would expect. This is because of where they live. They live in the salt marshes of Africa, where it's very hot, so that lighter pink coloration helps them to reflect heat and regulate their body temperature. Greater flamingo can live up to 65 years in captivity, 30 to 40 years in the wild, up to 65 in captivity. Thank you guys so much for visiting us here today for San Diego Zoo Safari Park, one of the two front doors of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance. Just by coming and visiting and spending money on admission and food and stuff in the gift shops and even tours helps this non-profit organization to continue our work, our conservation efforts around the world, and our mission to help create a world where all life not only survives but thrives. The San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance focuses our conservation efforts primarily on 8 conservation hubs around the world, and we're going to visit 2 of them today. One's the African Savannah and the other is the Southwest Hub located right here in San Diego County. Now, by a show of hands, how many of you are visiting us for the first time today? Wow. Okay. Well, welcome. I hope you guys are enjoying your first experience here at the park. And Dr. Theo, again, welcome back. Now, over on the right-hand side, these are southern white rhinos. There's a couple in the back there, and then one kind of in between the trees. white rhinos are the largest species of rhino. They reach up to 5,000 pounds and 6 feet tall at the shoulders. They are also super social. They live in herds called crashes. In fact, female southern white rhinos require other females to be around in order for them to even go into estrus and breed with a male. Now, this is the Nikita Khan Rhino Rescue Center, and these rhinos play an important role in our effort to save the northern white rhino from extinction. There's only 2 northern white rhinos left on the entire planet, mother and daughter living in Kenya under 24-hour guard. Because they are both female, they are functionally extinct. Here at the Rhino Rescue Center, we've had southern white rhino calves born successfully through artificial insemination. And so we're going to use the southern white rhinos as surrogates for the northern white rhino. We have northern white rhino genetic material that we will use to make eggs and sperm, and we will insert it for you. But that is not true. If you feel of your own hair and your own fingernails, that is the same material that horn is made of. It's a protein called keratin. So if you would spread the word, these gentle giants would definitely appreciate it. Now, this is a great day to come visit the wildlife here at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. They are the most active in the morning and the evening when it is cool. During the day, they're typically resting, conserving their energy unless they need to flee from a predator. On cooler days, they do tend to remain active on and off throughout the day. On a hot day, they spend the hottest part of the day resting in the shade, waiting for it to cool down into the evening.
There's zebras over there.
Got a couple of yellow-billed storks spreading their wings for you there on the right-hand side. And over on the right-hand side, these are Somerang's gazelles. Tan-back, white-bellied, gorgeous faces. The black markings on their face that looks like eye makeup is called a threat mask. That is a physiological characteristic that we see in other species of antelope as well. And it does a couple of things. Hides their eyes and helps to elongate their horns so they look more intimidating. When you face a predator, you want to look as big, mean, and intimidating as possible, and that threat mask helps out with that. These guys are also considered opportunistic feeders. They have something in common with the giraffe. It's a prehensile tongue, so they can browse leaves on trees and shrubs, or they can graze on tall grasses. So they are opportunistic feeders. Now that tan back helps them to blend into the desert environment where they live, and the white belly reflex teeth helps them to regulate their body temperature. Coming up on the left-hand side, these dark brown antelope with the horns curving back towards their back. These are sable antelopes. They also have the threat mask, helps to elongate those curved horns, and that dark brown coloration also helps them to look more intimidating. Notice the formation in which they are laying, looking in different directions, not because they don't like each other, but because they want to survive. That is a behavior that is known as an alert circle, something that we do see in other species of antelope as well. They want to see in different directions so they can see a predator coming before it is right on top of them, gives them a chance to run away or hide.
Yeah, chú cao cổ, giraffe.
Over on the left-hand side, these are Maasai giraffe under those trees over there. Now I mentioned that they have a prehensile tongue. So if you look at what I'm doing with my index finger, if you curl your index finger down tightly like that, that is how their tongue works. They can wrap it around a branch and strip it of its leaves. Giraffes are uniquely designed to take advantage of their tooth work that is up much higher than other host mammals can reach. And those gorgeous coats they have give them hiding power under trees when they are browsing for leaves. It looks like dappled sunlight. Gives them camouflage like they are demonstrating for you right now. Maasai giraffe. And also we're going to pass by the breeding male here on the left-hand side. He has dark black spots. He is facing this direction and he's standing in the shade of this tree. That is Go on, he's about 18 feet tall. His tongue is about 18 inches long. The rule of thumb for the tongue is 1 inch of tongue for 1 foot of height. Now on the right-hand side at the top of the hill, that is June, the dromedary camel. He's a retired animal ambassador, and he lives out his retirement in this habitat, watching the tours go by. He thinks we parade humans by for his viewing pleasure. He used to go out into the park and greet guests. Now he just hangs out out here. Over on the left-hand side, there's a Cape buffalo, the only herd in here that will fight as a team if the herd is threatened. So, for example, if they're threatened by a pride of lions, they'll form a defensive line and stomp the lions to death if that is what is necessary to protect the herd. Cape buffalo are such an effective defensive unit, even lame individuals can continue to thrive in the herd. Now, as I continue up this hill, I'm not going to be stopping to keep your eyes directed towards the left-hand side for more wildlife in this Central Africa enclosure. I see an eastern black rhino up here on the left-hand side. We have a breeding pair in here, Aria and Kendi. The one that I see is Aria, the female. Kendi is the male. So she's over here on the left-hand side, snapping on some leaves that were dropped off for her. That is Aria. Kendi is also over here, but he's right up against the fence line. You will not get to see him until we get on, maybe on the other side of the tram path. Now you'll notice eastern black rhinos are a lot smaller than southern white rhinos. They're also not near as social. They live solitary lives, and they only meet up for breeding purposes. So no crashes for them. Coming up here on the left-hand side, these large tan antelopes with the black fret mounts, these are roan antelopes. Oh, and there's a greater kudu down there. That gray one with the white stripes and those long horns, curvy horns, that's a greater kudu walking work of art. That's my favorite species of antelope. Now those horns are not fully developed yet. They will get longer and curvier and spiral. And they've got those beautiful, gigantic ears. Allows them to hear predators from quite a distance off. They also radiate heat, helps them to regulate their body temperature. Greater kudu are gorgeous. Now we have an excellent representation of different species of antelope here at the park. We have dozens, as you can see. There are about 90 different species worldwide, and about 75 of those reside in Africa. Now those dark brown antelope over on the left-hand side close to the bridge, those are adolescent male lowland Nyala. That is a sexually dimorphic species. That is the male version. We have females right across from the tram station. They are orange in coloration with white stripes on the sides. So they look significantly different. I'm going to stop on this bridge for a moment so you can take in the beautiful view on the left-hand side of the Sandpass Wall Valley. You can see all the way back down past that pond we passed when we came into East African habitat. Over on the right-hand side, that little orange-colored antelope that's on the island there, that is a female African Sitatunga. And I can tell she's female because that is another sexually dimorphic species. That is what the females look like. They are orange with white stripes and spots, and the males are kind of like the lowland Nyala males. They are darker and shaggier, and they have horns with faint striping patterns on their sides. We've also got some female roan antelopes on the right-hand side and some pelicans. There's one doing some gular fluttering for you right there on that island. That white pelican right there, that's a great white pelican. Now all species of pelican have what is called a gular pouch attached to their lower jaw. They use it to capture fish and swallow it whole. But it does double duty as a method of regulating their body temperature when they do what that guy is doing, gular fluttering. And he stopped, heard me talking about him. Now all this vegetation all around us up on the hills is called coastal sage scrub. one of the most endangered ecosystems in the United States, with only about 15% left in the state of California. The safari park's about 1,800 acres, and about half of that's dedicated to preserving this endangered ecosystem for the local wildlife, which includes the turkey vulture, which cleans up after predators that leave carcasses behind. They actually help to prevent the spread of disease. That is why it is so important to maintain some of the local landscape for local wildlife so they do not disappear. That would have a negative impact on our lives as well, believe it or not. That's why it's so important to maintain some of the local. And down on the left-hand side, that's the bachelor herd of Grevy's zebras. The largest species of zebra, they reach up to 6 feet tall, and these are endangered. Now the striping patterns on each zebra are unique to each individual. They are all different, just like our fingerprints, and a herd of zebra is a dazzle. When a predator encounters a dazzle, those striping patterns allow one individual to blend right into the next. It looks like one big zebra, too big to attack, likely causing the predator to simply move on. If you notice, all these herds tend to sit together, and the reason is their safety in numbers. It's those individuals that wander off by themselves and get picked off by predators, and they're much more dangerous and they are easier to target. Gorgeous view on the left-hand side of those hills and that valley with all those different species of wildlife. Over on the left-hand side, these large tan antelopes are Patterson's elands, one of the largest species of antelope. They reach up to 2,000 pounds and 6 feet tall. The patches in that hang down from their neck is called a dewlap. It is filled with blood vessels that circulate cooler blood throughout their large bodies so they can regulate their body temperature. Now right here on the left-hand side in the shade of the tree, right to the left of that service road right there, we have 4 baby Patterson's elands right there. These guys are about 4 weeks old. They're super cute. They're all legs right now. Now this particular species, when they have multiple babies like this, they form little nurseries called creches, and the babies stick very close together in the creche. They form very close bonds because they spend all of their time together. The only time that they are called to mom is when it is time to nurse. So those 4 babies stick together in their creche. The females take turns babysitting. They've got beautiful spiral horns. And the black markings above their knees on the back of their legs, their front legs, those are also follow me marks. Guys over here on the right hand side, that is a species of Asian deer, and that white antelope with the tan neck and the long horns curving back towards its back, that's a scimitar horned oryx. Now they've been known to survive without a water source because where they live in the wild, super hot during the day, freezing cold at night, they learn to lick the dew off their coats to get water. That is how the scimitar horned oryx survived without a water source. Got a roadrunner over on the left-hand side on that log. Local wildlife. We have tons of local wildlife around here, which includes the mule deer, the burrowing owl, the desert tortoise, mountain lions, coyotes, and many different species of bird. I mentioned the turkey vulture. It's very important to our local ecosystem. Curve on the left-hand side, you'll see the Kitaconn Rhino Rescue Center again. You might see those southern white rhinos. Yep, I see a couple of them laying down back there. If you are interested in learning more about the different species of rhinos and more about the effort to save the northern white rhino from extinction, I would encourage you to take a behind-the-scenes tour of the Nikita Khan Rhino Rescue Center. It is super educational and entertaining. And there's Glenn reaching up with his prehensile tongue, trying to reach that palm frond up there. That little baby giraffe is adorable. And these birds over here on the right-hand side, these are East African crowned cranes. They are actually monogamous. They will choose one individual and mate for life. And up on the hill back there, those brown antelope with the long straight horns, those are fringe-eared oryx. The black markings on their face that looks like war paint is their threat mask. It is very effective, helps to elongate those horns, which are already 2 to 3 feet long. Now also on the right-hand side, look way back there towards the back. We've got some common wildebeest on the hill on the right-hand side, and then further back, you'll see some tan antelope and one dark brown one with a white spot on the front shoulders. Those are Nile lechwe. So on one hill we have the common wildebeest, and back towards the back on the other hill, those Nile lechwe. The dark brown one with the white spot on the shoulders, that is the male. The females are those tan ones. Another sexually dimorphic species. Now, wildebeest are considered one of the best pollinators. They have a beard that hangs down from their neck, and they are big migrators, always on the move. When they are not stampeding, they are grazing like you see them doing now. And they pick up seeds in that beard, and as they continue on their journey, those seeds fall out, they get planted, and they grow. So they are considered one of the best pollinators. Now, as I come around the curve here, on the right-hand side to the left of that pond, you're going to see a whole crash of southern white rhinos, and you'll see how social they are. Look how closely they stick together when they are just sleeping. I mean, they're just, if they're not touching, they are close to touching at all times. And they are gentle giants. They are reactive, they're not aggressive. If they feel threatened, they're definitely going to respond, but they're not aggressive at all. Now, as I come around the curve, over on the right-hand side, if you look through this gate that says Gate 1, you'll see the whole crash of southern white rhinos as they come around the curve. They are gorgeous and sweet, and I love them. They're awesome. Well, I hope you guys had the best time. I enjoyed taking you out there and showing you these amazing animals. And we were able to see how physiological characteristics of behaviors help wildlife to survive in their natural habitat. Thank you guys so much for visiting us here today at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, one of the 2 front doors of the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance. Just by coming and visiting and spending money on admission and food and stuff in the gift shops and even tours, it helps this nonprofit organization to continue our work, our conservation efforts around the world, and our mission to help create a world where all life not only